Hello, everyone, and welcome to Ask Uncle Buck. I'm your host, Uncle Buck. You got big buck questions. I got big buck answers. So we're doing a second video this week. Why? Because someone asked me a question, and instead of lumping it in with all the other questions I did in the video yesterday, I think this one deserves its own video. So my buddy Clay Early asked me, kind of offhandedly as a joke, are traps gay? Now, if you don't know what a trap is, it's a term, maybe a little irreverent term for trans woman. And of course, the actual question is liking traps gay? If you're a straight guy and you're attracted to a trans woman, are you gay? We'll get to that later. The question that really struck me is, are traps themselves gay? Weird question. And I was trying to parse it out logically, and I kind of realized that there were some things I didn't know. So I called up, or texted rather, the only trans woman that I know, or at least that I know, this chick named Chelsea. And I was like, hey, so I got to ask you this question. If a trans woman that is a person who was born male, with male anatomy, experiences gender dysphoria, transitions into living life as a female, if that person is attracted to men, is that person homosexual or heterosexual? Now, in the trans community, apparently, that person is considered heterosexual because you're a woman. Why not? Why wouldn't you like men? And if you're a trans woman who is into women, then you're a lesbian. Which goes against what I would have thought, which is just based on physical reality. You're born with a Y chromosome. You're male. You know, you're born with a penis. You're male. For you to then, in your life, be attracted to other men would make you homosexual, regardless of, like, maybe you experience gender dysphoria, maybe you don't. If you're a man, or you're someone who was born male, and you like women, then you're heterosexual. So apparently the difference there comes with whether or not you think trans people are legitimately the sex they identify as or not. Whether your self-identification actually alters reality. Now this is where the crux of the matter really lies, and this is the thing I wanted to talk about, is a trans woman actually a woman? Obviously, the trans community fights to say, yeah, if you feel like a woman, you're a woman. If you feel like a man, you're a man. And I don't hate people, and I'm not a hateful guy, but I think I disagree with that. Only based on the fact, and I have caveats here, based on the fact that reality is reality, and if you're born with an X chromosome and a Y chromosome, that makes you male. I think sex and gender are the same thing. I think they're synonyms. I don't think that sex is the junk you have between your legs, and then gender is how you feel. I don't. That doesn't make any sense to me. The two are the same. And the reason I think that is because, one, like I accept that there are things that are associated with men and with women that are considered masculine or feminine. Those things change with culture. I'm fine with that. There's like in the West, it has been traditionally for some time now considered feminine to wear pink. There's a lot of guys that do it. I think they're sissies. You know, it is what it is. There's things that are considered masculine that women, you know, like, oh, I'm not going to do that. That's a guy thing. You know, there's things that are considered feminine. Guys are going to say, I'm not going to do that. That's for chicks. You know, those things can change culturally. That's fine. But your DNA doesn't change. If you start taking hormones, like if you're a man and you take hormones and you grow breasts and you get rid of all your facial hair and you get reconstructive surgery to turn your genitals into something that resembles the opposite sex, that doesn't actually make you the opposite sex. Sorry, I don't hate anyone, but this is just the physical reality of it, and that's how I perceive it. That's how I have to interpret physical reality, just based on facts. So, and I'm sorry if that offends you. If you're someone who's trans and you think I'm a bigot, I'm not a bigot. This is how reality is. Now, I want to say this. I see the whole transgender thing as, if you are a dude who experiences gender dysphoria and you feel like a woman and you want to try to live your life as best you can, as comfortably as you can, so you try and simulate being a woman as best you can, and that's just how you deal with it to make your life livable, I'm fine with that. I don't have a problem with you, because I don't experience it. I don't know what it's like to have to feel like you're in the wrong body. You know, I don't know what that feels like. So I have to have some sympathy there, because I can't say for certain that it's this way or the other. I just have to trust you that, yeah, you were born one way, you feel like you're different, and you're just going to try and live your life as right as you can. Okay, I get that. I'm libertarian enough that I can say, yeah, okay, I'm cool with that. And if you and I can come to that understanding, we're not going to have a problem. If you are a trans woman and you say, yeah, I mean, you want to get down to like physical brass tacks, I'm a dude that feels like a woman and I'm going to live like a woman. If we can come to that understanding, that basic definition that you're someone who is male and you feel female and you're going to try and live as female, we're not going to have a problem. I can get on board with that, and I can be sympathetic to that. And if you would prefer, like, hey, listen, just to be nice to me, can you play along with this and say, like, you call me she and call me by a girl name and just treat me like one of the girls? Yeah, okay. I mean, there's limits on what I'm gonna do and what I'm not gonna do. But I can be nice. I can be a nice guy, and I can play along, and I can have some sympathy. Here's the problem. Here's the problem that gets to me, is when someone tries to take that and then stretch it over here and start saying, well, because you can say, I can understand that someone might feel this way. Well, I feel like I'm all sorts of ways. I don't know that I get into that. I don't think gender or sex are really on a spectrum. I think there's male and female. To tell me that you're some sort of in-betweeny queenie kind of thing, I start going, listen, man, that sounds like a lot of BS to me. That sounds like you're trying to just take something that can be diagnosed and something that can be dealt with and drag it off into this weird territory. And maybe you're doing it for, like, God, you say something and people get so upset with you, but I think it's an attention thing. People are like, oh, gender's on a spectrum. Well, now you have to call me by these special pronouns, and now you have to do this, and now you have to do that. And listen. I can tolerate that. Like, I don't have to agree with it. I'll tolerate it as long as you don't go passing laws and stuff to try and force me to play along with your game. I will have respect enough for you to say, yeah, this person's got some kooky ideas, but hey, it's whatever. They're not hurting anybody, so it's whatever. Just yeah, sure, whatever. Have fun. I disagree with you, but I'm libertarian enough to say, sure, whatever. Play, yes, it's whatever. What you do in your bedroom and how you dress, I don't care. I couldn't care less. I don't even care where you pee. I want to take an aside here and talk about the bathroom thing, because I'm in North Carolina and there's this big honk and blow up about bathroom bills. And here's what I think, and here's what a lot of people think. There are people who are genuinely offended by gender stuff. It's not me. I couldn't care less. And I couldn't care less if you're a dude who feels like a chick and therefore you're going to use the chick bathroom. I don't care. Like, because chances are you're not the problem. Chances are you're not someone who's going to go in there and start fondling up the women or taking pictures of people. Chances are you're not a sexual predator. You're just someone who's got gender dysphoria and you're just trying to live your life. The problem with the bathroom thing is where, one, I have two issues. One, you start making laws, telling people what they have to do and how they have to do it. That bugs me. That bugs me to hell and back. To say, you own a business, you have to have a gender neutral bathroom, or you have to allow this, or you have to allow that, or you have to ban this, and you have to ban that. It goes both ways, and I think both ways are BS. I think if someone owns a business and they want to have a bathroom and they don't care who goes in the bathroom, that's up to them. And if they have a bathroom and they do care who goes in the bathroom, that's also up to them. And if someone doesn't like their bathroom policy, don't go to that place. If I open a restaurant and I'm like, you know what? I got to check your britches before you go into the bathroom to make sure you're going to you got the equipment for the bathroom you're going to. People are going to be pretty offended by that, and they're not going to come to my restaurant. And then I earn what I get. I earn the lack of business. So that kind of thing. Like, most people are just decent enough not to care. They might have a moral opinion on it, but deep down, like when you get to know somebody and you're like, yeah, this is just a person who's got this thing going on with them. They probably didn't choose it. That's the other thing, is I don't think gender dysphoria is something that people choose. Therefore, I don't think it's a sexual perversion of a moral nature. I think it's probably a psychological thing. Kind of like homosexuality. A lot of times, I know there are people who become gay by their own volition, but those people are in the minority. I think most people who experience homosexual feelings do so against what they want. I can't imagine someone would choose to live their life with that kind of a condition on them. It just doesn't make any sense to me. Whether you're born with it, whether you're not, what causes it, I don't know. There's debates about that. I just try to put myself in someone's shoes. If I had this thing that I experienced, that I had to my knowledge, I had no control over, and I was just trying to live my life, how would I want to be treated if I was that person? And that's how I treat people. Now, if I think you're taking advantage of that, and I think you're trying to stuff a bunch of BS down my throat, up yours. I got no use for you. Take your nonsense somewhere else. All right? Because I don't want to step on your toes, but don't you come stepping on mine either. You see, it goes back and forth like this. If we can come to an understanding about something, and we can get along, and we can choose, we can figure out a path that works for both of us, and we can both go that way, I am so happy about that. I think people should go to the bathroom where they want, as long as they're not hurting anybody, and as long as you're not taking pictures of other people's little girls. And if I ever catch some dude taking advantage of the social climate and goes into a girl's bathroom with a camera and starts taking pictures of my wife or my daughter, you're going to end up in the hospital or the ground, prick. That's what people are upset about. Say it doesn't happen all you want. I don't care. I don't give a shit what you think. That is the concern. Most people don't care where you go to the bathroom because most people are decent people, and they understand you're just trying to live your life. That's what I think. As to whether or not a trans woman who likes men is gay, it depends on the definition. I think if you go by just the strict physiological, do you have the Y chromosome or not? If you're chromosomally male and you're into guys, then that's homosexual. Okay. You don't feel that way, we can disagree, and I'm fine with disagreeing. We can see it from two different points of view, and I can still think you're an okay person, and you can still think I'm an okay person, even though we see things differently. This whole thing with hating people just because they have a different opinion really pisses me off. Can you tell? But if you are a guy who's cis, as they call it, a cis man, and you're banging a trap, you're definitely gay. So there's that. This has been Ask Uncle Buck, and I'm your host, Uncle Buck. You had a big buck question, and God help us all, I gave you a big buck answer. And if you don't like it, come get me. I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.